Hey, you guys. Hi. Okay, so I am doing a quick tutorial. For those of you who are elite, executive, bronze, whatever rank you are, where you are starting to present and you're wanting to do a QIQ presentation and you're wanting to do it through Zoom. Zoom has a few really cool features and it has a learning curve. I had to learn it myself, kind of go through it, and I figure what better way to kind of show you guys some cool things that you have access to that you may not realize. So first and foremost, you need to create an account. So you want to go to zoom.us on your browser and you want to sign up. It's free, okay? And in setting up a free account, you are able to do presentations that are under 40 minutes and you have some limited features. Now, that's okay, and it's totally fine to do the free version. I did the next level up, which allows me to have 100 participants in case I ever wanted to do a combined situation with multiple teams, let's say. And I have a few other features, okay? So first and foremost, create an account. Don't try to do it separately. Create an account. Think about using it as an investment. There are many different plans. I do the one that's $14.99 a month. It's the same price as our app, and it's definitely worth it. You can have 100 participants, same as the free version. Meeting duration limit is 24 hours. So you could literally be on for as long as you want. That's what I meant to say, sorry. The first version is only 40 minutes. The first one is 24 hours. You have admin feature controls. And that is the most important thing because on your end, on the free version, you don't get to do as much as far as muting people or making sure that you can also customize your meeting ID, right? You guys notice my meeting ID is always the 223-332. It's because 23 is my lucky number, and I created that Zoom ID the first time I opened an account. So I highly recommend getting this version. And when you have this version, I'm going to show you some of the simple features that you can have that are really cool. So you sign in. Let me get signed in here. Excuse me. So you get signed in and you can create different meetings. You can schedule a meeting, and when you have a scheduled meeting, it will provide a meeting ID for you, or you can say, I want to schedule a meeting. And in your meeting, you can put the day and time, the time zone, all that. You can do your personal meeting ID. So you can always have the same meeting ID. You can turn on or off the password. You can control whether people's videos are on automatically or off automatically. Audio, you can allow people to join from a telephone, computer, or both. And then meeting options. Do you want them to be able to join before you join? I don't like doing that. I don't want them to be able to join and then be like, is it starting? Is it not starting? I'd rather it say waiting for host to start meeting. Mute participants upon entry. That's a really good feature to have clicked on. Record the meeting automatically. I don't like to do that one because then it stores it to the cloud, and all that dead air in the beginning when you're like, hi everyone, hey, blah, blah, we'll get started in a few minutes, blah, 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 blah. That is all on there. So I don't like to do that. So you can schedule a meeting. You can go into your settings, and in settings, there's a couple different things. So there's a waiting room option. I don't like using the waiting room because that means people are placed in a waiting room before you allow them to come into the meeting. Requiring a password with scheduled meetings. Require a password for instant meetings. I don't like doing that anymore. I put all my meetings are going to be my PMI, which is my personal meeting ID. So the 223, right? And I don't want to require a password for that. Enable passcode, don't need that, don't need that. I turned a lot of that on back when original. Okay, host video, right? Start meetings with host video on, I turned that off. Participants video off, I want them to be able to turn on their video or not. Audio type both, join before the host off. We talked about all of this already. Muting participants upon entry in the meeting. Now these are some really cool things. You can have the chat on or off if you don't want people chatting. So I like to keep it on. I do prevent participants from saving the chat. They can't like copy and paste it or save it. I do not allow private chat. I don't want them private chatting each other and distracting each other. I turn off sound notifications, feedback to Zoom. I don't mind them having it. Polling. I like having polls on my events because then I could create a poll for people to answer if they wanted to. Screen sharing. I do screen sharing, but for host only. Whiteboard content. You don't really need that. Remote control. Meeting restrictions. I keep that on because I want to adjust the restrictions, which I'll show you in a second. And then in the meeting, there's break rooms. There's a lot of stuff you don't need. But anyway, you guys see that there's a ton of settings. Lots of things that are really, really valuable. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen now and show you guys the actual when you're in the meeting. Okay, so I have a meeting going on right now that you guys should be able to see. Hopefully you can see this. Yes. Okay. And I want to show you guys how, oh, whoops, sorry. Try again. Oh, this one. Here we go. Okay. So I want to show you guys some of the things that it will help you to do while you're in the meeting. Over here on the right, you can go to mute all and then look, allow participants to unmute themselves. Uncheck that. If you're doing a presentation, nobody can unmute themselves. Isn't that amazing? Okay, so you always do that. Then under more, you have these other options. You can lock a meeting. If you have, like for me, if I have a meeting going on and then I have another meeting happening right after, I lock the current one I'm in so those people for the next meeting can't hop on the current one. Muting participants upon entry. Allowing participants to rename themselves if they want to change their name. The chat feature, of course, you've got on there. You can record. There's options to record to your computer, which means that it will download the video after, and then a window will pop up. Once that window pops up, there's a Zoom file. You can literally click it and drag it to your desktop, okay? And then you can upload that to YouTube, or you can record to the cloud, and on the cloud means it will record to your Zoom account. So you can access that when you log in, which I'll show you in a second. And then under participants is where you see all of this, okay? So it's tons of good stuff. There's video settings, of course, different testing with audio and all of that, so you're good to go. Okay, so I'm gonna unshare that. And then I'm gonna show you guys a couple other things. So when you actually download Zoom, like the actual program, and you have it on your computer, that's what's really cool about this is you have a lot of options. You can go to your meetings that you have scheduled. You can go home and you can click just start a meeting. I already have my other meeting in. Let me end that really quick. So when you're here, you can click just new meeting. And if you look, I always have under meetings up here, my personal meeting ID. You can click that and just start a meeting. At whatever point with your personal ID, you can copy the invitation. So it's copied and you can show people. You can start it. You can edit it beforehand. Everything's right there. Advanced options even. Password, mute participants upon entry. Password or not, all of that. And you can click on your personal meeting ID that you custom created and hit start, right? So it's super easy. Then, last thing I'm going to show you guys real quick. Excuse me. I think that was it. I'm trying to think if there's something else I was going to show you guys. Oh, that's right. I was going to show you one more thing in the settings. You can log in on a computer and then you'll access recordings. If you clicked record to iCloud, this is where your recordings will be. So it has all the dates listed and you can share that via a link and it's really simple. Cool. So I know there's a lot to this. I know it's really thorough, but I promise you it's just a matter of learning. Don't let the overwhelm of learning something new stop you guys from having a really professional, streamlined, good presentation because you've learned and mastered Zoom and know how it works. It's the same thing with PowerPoint. If you want to show your PowerPoint presentation, nail down PowerPoint, know how to flip through the slides, how to move slides around, how to change copy, on the slides, those kinds of things. So hopefully this was helpful to you guys. I will talk to you guys soon.